Hi guys, this is Kayla.
And this is Becky, and we're with a couple of these read, and it is time for predictions.
Yes, we do like to do our Book of the Month predictions, and it is that time. March books are coming out next week, right? Or the week after?
Week after.
Yeah, so it's close, and it is time to talk about it. So the first one, I feel like is obvious. I've seen it on everyone's list. Murder Road by Simone St. James. It's Simone St. James. They always have her books.
Yes.
But this one specifically I'm excited about. Her books are thrillers that kind of toe the line between thriller and horror. So in this one, a young couple find themselves haunted by a string of gruesome murders committed along an old deserted road in this terrifying new novel from the New York Times bestselling author of the Book of Cold Cases, which I loved the book.
Yes.
Another one I'm seeing everywhere is Bye Baby by Carola Lovering. It's about these two women, Cassie and Billy, who were childhood best friends, kept each other's secrets, all of this, and they drifted apart in adulthood. Cassie marries a wealthy man, becomes a mother. She's building a following as an influencer, and she really just wants to leave all of her past behind her, including Billy, but Billy's not so willing to let go and will do anything to keep them together, including possibly kidnap that baby. That is, again, Bye Baby, Carola Lovering. And then, of course, this one.
Yes, The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. A couple inherits an apartment that has an interesting past, and they say it's great. If Book of the Month doesn't carry it, I'm going to get it somewhere else because I really want to read this book.
And I feel like every time Lisa Unger has a book come out, we're like, her, why aren't they picking her?
Yeah, they never pick her, and I don't understand why.
Because she's very much as good as Ruth Ware or Lucy Foley or any of the others. So I don't know if maybe she just doesn't need the assistance, but
maybe.
I'm sure she phenomenal.
Doesn't, but yeah.
Next, The Silver Bone by Andrey Kurkov. Andrey Kurkov is the Ukraine's top, most celebrated novelist. And this is a perplexing mystery that introduces rookie detective Samson Kolekto in Kiev as he's tackling his first case. It's set against real-life details of the tumultuous early 20th century. So I just thought, we try to find diverse books, and this is someone from the Ukraine. I would be interested in reading this. Little Ukrainian mystery. Listen for the Lie, I've also seen everywhere. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. After Lucy is found wandering the streets covered in her best friend Savvy's blood, everyone thinks she's a murderer. Years pass. Lucy moves to LA. She's not even thinking about any of this. And suddenly it's announced that the podcast Listen for the Lie has chosen this mystery of Savvy's murder for their second season, I believe it is. So she goes back to town, to her hometown, to try to solve her best friend's murder, even though she can't remember anything of that night. And, gets to meet this handsome podcaster, Ben Owens. It's been getting great reviews on Instagram, so fingers crossed.
We'll see.
Next up, The Last Verse by Caroline Frost. And I know Book of the Month has done a book I felt like was similar to this. It's been years.
It's been a while, yeah.
You're Always Mine, maybe? I don't know. It's an older book, but The Last Verse by Caroline Frost is about a Nashville wannabe star, Twyla. It's her dream to be a Nashville star. And when a night out with her boyfriend, Chet, ends in disaster, like criminal level disaster, things go sideways. So she's hoping to process what happened that fateful night and composes a haunting ballad that she performs only once in an empty bar. But weeks later, she turns on the radio and there's her song. So she has to choose, do I go after this person and try to get the rights to my song back?
Yeah.
Or do I stay quiet because I really don't want to relive what happened that night?
That's right. One Moment by Becky Hunter. It's about a friendship of love and loss that tells the story of how a woman grieves through her best friend's death. And she tries to embrace the future without without her best friend there. And, we all have best friends, and, I don't know what I'd do without mine. And so that's another thing when you lose a best friend. How do you deal with that? Someone that's there with you in all your special moments, and you share your secrets with, and everything else. And it's perfect for fans of Rebecca Thrill. And I love her. One Italian Summer. I've read several of her books, and I just love her. So if it's anything like that, I'm definitely going to get it for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
And another kind of sad one, After Annie by Anna Quindlen. I hope I'm saying that right. When Annie Brown dies suddenly, she leaves her family and her friends reeling. She'd always been kind of the linchpin that held everyone together, and now she's not there. So the book is a study of grief, how her family deals with that afterwards. Fairly heavy book, but I just felt like it would be the type that they would have as an add-on.
Right.
So yeah, 2 books about grief on our list this month.
Yeah. The Triumph of Lions by Stefania Auci.
Yes, I think.
If I didn't say that right, I apologize. It's a novel that explores the origins of one of Italy's most powerful and notorious families. And if it's set in Italy, I'm a sucker for anything set in Italy. So I'm probably going to, look at that one. So good one.
And I think there's already a TV show for it coming out. I forgot to tell you that. So
cool.
Some show is coming out based on it. It's called something slightly different.
Okay.
Check the blog notes. I'll have it there.
Okay. The Underground Library. I'm also a sucker for anything dealing with bookstores, libraries, authors, writers, whatever it is. If it is around that, I enjoy reading about those. But this comes during the Blitz, during London, during the war, and 3 young women are trying to save, the library. And, very courageous. And it's in this novel's based on true events from the author of the Chilbury Ladies Choir. And just reading it reminded me of Patty Callahan Henry's The Secrets of Laura Lee.
Yeah.
Because it's about the children during that time. And so, I thought,
so this is about the women in London.
Yes. So I thought that would be interesting. And then here's another one. And some of y'all might go, what is she talking about? The Great Divide by Cristina Henriquez. I think. I apologize again if I didn't say that right. It's a novel about the construction of the Panama Canal and the people that we probably don't know much about. And as a former history teacher, I used to teach a big unit on the Panama Canal. So this one really just, piqued my interest. Not to mention the fact that, to me, I look at the cover and I go, ooh, that'd make a beautiful quilt.
Yeah, so, gorgeous cover.
Yeah. So who knows? Might see that one day.
And one for me is All Our Yesterdays by Joel H. Harris. It's his debut novel, and it is set 10 years before Shakespeare wrote Macbeth. Oh. And it's about ambition, power, and fate that define one of literature's most notorious figures, Lady Macbeth. Yeah. And if it has to do with Shakespeare, I'm here for it. Yeah. Especially Macbeth, because that woman, there's a reason, essays are still being written about this character.
Yeah.
So I'm
Joel Morris.
Yes, by Joel H. Morris. All Our Yesterdays.
Okay.
Next up, Women of Good Fortune by Sophie Wan. Set against high society's Shanghai wedding, a heartfelt, funny, dazzling novel about a reluctant bride and her 2 best friends, each with their own motives and fed up with the way society treats women, who forge a plan to steal all the gift money on the big day. So, interesting. And there's what I've been seeing everywhere, Piglet by Lottie Hazell. And I wasn't going to include it on the list because I don't like the cover. It's a cheeseburger. And
a double cheeseburger.
Yeah, a double cheeseburger.
Looks like a Big Mac.
Yeah, but then I actually read what it was about, and the summary is really good. Outside of a childhood nickname she can't shake, Piglet's rather pleased with how her life has turned out. She's writing best-selling cookbooks and being an influencer, and she's a fantastic cook, and everybody praises her cooking, including her fiance. But when her fiance confesses to a major betrayal before their wedding, things start to spiral. And she kind of has to struggle with her relationship to food and how that impacts her life. So that's Piglet by Lottie Hazell. One I saw that I was excited about.
Yeah, I thought like this one too.
Yeah. He's a little spooky. The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Kiste. Gwendolyn Kiste. From the Bram Stoker award-winning author comes a chilling novel about 3 childhood friends who miraculously survive the night everyone in their suburban town turns into ghosts. Perfect for fans of the show Yellow Jackets, which I haven't seen, but I've heard a lot about. So that is, again, The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Kiste. And one I've seen on everyone else's book blog for Book of the Month. I feel like maybe Book of the Month has already said this is going to be definite. Ellipses by Vanessa Lawrence. It's set in the glossy world of New York City media. The sharp and witty debut novel follows a young woman caught in a toxic mentorship with an older, powerful executive as she grapples with career, belonging, and the complexity of modern relationships in the digital age. It's already been named Best Book of 2024 so far by Vogue, Elle, and Electric Lit. So it's already got a lot of people eager to get their hands on it. So I feel like Book of the Month might be one of those.
Yeah.
We have just a few more. I'm sorry, guys. I got way into publisher's lunch recently. Anita de Monte, Laughs Last by Xochitl Gonzalez. New York Times bestselling author. Xochitl Gonzalez delivers a mesmerizing novel about a first-generation Ivy League student who uncovers the genius work of a female artist decades after that artist's suspicious death. So, very interesting. And this is the last one. And I almost didn't put this on here either because I didn't like the cover, but then I read about it. Parasol Against the Axe by Helen Oyeyemi. For reasons of her own, Hiro Tojosoa accepts an invitation she was half expected to decline and finds herself in Prague on a bachelorette weekend hosted by her estranged friend Sophie. Little does she know she's arrived in a city with a penchant for playing tricks on the unsuspected. A book Hiro has brought with her seems to be warping her mind. The text changes depending on when it's being read and who's doing the reading, revealing startling news stories of fictional Praguers past and present.
That one sounds very interesting.
Yeah, like once I read the summary, I was like, okay.
Okay, yeah. And it actually does look like a cover of a book that they would carry. So, yeah. But I do, and I know you said you didn't like the cover, but I look at the cover and I see another quilt there. So,
I'm a weirdo when it comes to covers. The covers I say I don't like, everyone's like, but this is beautiful. And I'm like, I guess so. But those are our picks this month, and I know there were a lot, but hopefully they'll pick up some of these. I know I'm excited to get my hands on some of them, whether they pick them or not.
Yep, some of them I'll get even regardless, one way or the other.
All right.
So,
bye, guys.